One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother sent her to visit her sick grandmother. She had not walked far when a wolf jumped out at her. Little Red Riding Hood was scared, but the wolf smiled and asked her where she was going.
To visit my grandmother.
And where does your grandmother live, my dear? Asked the wolf kindly.
She lives in the woods. She lives in the house in the woods.
The wolf bounded away out of sight and did not stop until he had reached the house in the middle of the woods. The wolf reached the grandmother's house. He knocked on the door. Inside called out,
"Who is it? Is I, grandmother? Come in, my dear." Woof, woof, woof. Woof. Woof, woof, woof.
The wolf opened the door, leaped in and roared at Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother. She was so scared that she jumped out of bed and hid in a closet.
Now I dropped my hat then.
Later, Little Red Riding Hood reached her grandmother's house. She knocked on the door. A gruff voice inside called out,
"Who is it?"
"It is I, grandmother," Little Red Riding Hood said.
Is I, little grandmother, is Little Red Riding Hood?
"Come in, my dear," called the voice. Little Red Riding Hood opened the door and stepped in. The wolf was sitting in bed, wearing grandmother's nightgown.
What big ears you have, grandmother.
All the better to hear you with.
You have, grandmother.
All the better to see you with.
What big teeth you have.
A big fight broke out. A friendly woodcutter arrived, and he took the wolf and chased him outside. Grandmother back into bed. Then he walked Little Red Riding Hood through the woods to her mother's cottage, just in time for supper.
What's
They all lived happily ever after.